Hello, my name is Kathy Taylor. I'm a writer and musician, and I'd like to tell you about my book, Trees and Other Witnesses, which was a finalist for the Cal Award in the category of literary and mainstream fiction. Each story in this collection has a tree of particular importance to its characters and their communities. These are tales of childhood and imagination, of migration and struggle, conflict and change. They are about specific places in Mexico, Nicaragua, and the U.S., and real and imagined sites of cultural encounter, growth, and adaptation. As the characters in these stories grapple with the forces of nature and the entanglement of human relationships, the trees are their companions and touchstones, reflecting and at times shaping the experience of their lives. I'm going to read a couple short excerpts from stories, and each of the stories was illustrated by a Colorado artist with these lovely pen and ink drawings. This story is entitled Endangered. It takes place in southern Oaxaca in Mexico, in an area of drug trade and in the endangered mangrove trees. Every time he eased the boat around the bend in the lagoon, he would look down and see her there again, her long hair floating among the mangrove roots, and her blank stare meeting his from beneath the murky water. This lagoon is home to many species of birds and aquatic wildlife, Victor heard his own voice say as it glided along the surface of the water with the boat, while his thoughts plunged deep into the tangled roots. As much as he wanted to erase the vision from his memory, he was destined to make this trip twice a day for many years, and to relive each time that horrible moment. The mangrove swamp is the nursery for the ocean, Victor continued, steering the 15-foot lancha silently through the narrow waterways and pointing out the tropical wildlife to his passengers. It's full of baby fish and other sea life. He knew the tour so well, he could narrate and navigate on automatic pilot while his mind wandered. Victor didn't know how he managed to pull her out of the water. Ay, mi pobre Lupita. Her skirt twisted around the roots, and her legs dangled as though her life had stopped in mid-flight. And the other story I'm going to read a little bit of is called Woodwinds. Here's the photo. It takes place in the Arkansas Valley in Colorado, about a young woman of multicultural, multiracial background from New Mexico who runs off to the mountains to try to find her identity, figure out who she really is. Only when she was finally and completely alone did she realize that she had been running away from all that she was not, in search of something to be. Leaning against a sun-warmed rock, she looked out over the horizon of deep blue mountain slopes, fading into a cloudless sky. It all seemed unreal. She had borrowed her uncle's old car and taken off, driving from New Mexico to the Colorado Rockies without a clear destination or purpose. She got as far as the Arkansas Valley and started to climb a mountain without even knowing its name. It wasn't about getting to the summit or checking off a list. She just wanted to be alone and be above the trees and see the view. One foot after the other, and there she was, higher than she had ever been, and looking down on a world she had never known. The rough tundra underneath her and her pounding heart reminded her that at least she was real. There was no other creature in sight, human or otherwise. Her mind opened to the stillness, and when her pulse settled, she noticed it, a sound, almost a roar, yet so soft she could barely hear it. She rubbed her ears and then her forehead, thinking it must be the altitude. But no, it was clearly there, distant but intimate. 1,000 whispers swirled around and through her. She felt swept clean, emptied out, yet full. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is Kathy Taylor, author of Trees and Other Witnesses.